beautiful souls. I am Valeria Maritza at Healing Through You. I am an infinite being of light, and so are you. Today, I have another message from Archangel Gabriel. I noticed and realized last week that when Archangel Gabriel came down, it was actually the day off or the day before um, the Annunciation. So, for those of you who follow some of the religious timelines, the Annunciation is when Archangel Gabriel came down to tell the Virgin Mary that she was expecting or going to have the child of Jesus. And so interesting that that's when he decided to come through for you guys with a message of love and hope last week. So, yeah, there are no coincidences. His presence is very, very potent, and he's here again today. And what he said this morning to me, I'm going to read it because I just wrote it down and it was so cool. And he says, flow like the wind. We've got you. So that's his message, all in all. So let it sit there for a little bit. Flow like the wind. We've got you. Flow like the wind means going in flow. Go with the flow of life. Whatever is presented to you that resonates with you, that you feel that is really good and makes you happy, just do it. Don't think about it, right? The wind doesn't stop to let you think whether you want to fly or not. It just takes you up and you fly. So you just allow yourself to be taken to the next spot, to the next level, to the next chapter of your life. And we've got you. What does that mean? It means that you are totally supported by your guides, by the angels, by the divine, when you are allowing yourself to be taken to the next place. A lot of times, most of the time, I should say, unless you're really connected, we tend to listen to our ego, and our ego is here to keep us safe. So the ego is good. It has a really good purpose in our life. It keeps us safe from getting hurt. Um, it's when we listen to the ego too much that we end up doing nothing and not moving, right? So the ego comes through and says, oh, do you have all the ducks lined up? Do you have all of this ready? Do you have that ready? And when the answer is no, which most of the time it isn't, we end up doing nothing. It stops us. It stops us in our track of doing the things we want to do for fear of not having things ready, fear of not knowing exactly what to say, exactly what to do, what to write, who to talk to. All of those things are not necessary, is what they're saying today, right? What is necessary is for you to trust in you, trust in yourself, and go ahead and do the things. Just do them. There is nothing that gives more joy than actually accomplishing something that you have been wanting to do for weeks, months, or even years. And it is the big elephant in the room is the thing of the thinking, and not taking action. And that can take you for a really, really long time without doing anything towards what it is that you want to do. When you take action, you're like, oh my gosh, I just did this. I've been waiting to do this for months or for even years. And I did it. And I did it today. And the excitement that you get from actually doing something that it's aligned with you is what brings you the joy. And there is no reason for you to stop the joy or not live in this um, energy of constant joy. There is no reason. The only reason that you're not living in constant joy is because you keep stopping yourself and not taking action. And so today, Archangel Gabriel says, allow yourself to be taken by the wind. Just flow with it. Here is an opportunity for you. Here's an idea that just popped in your head. Here is this thing that you wanted to go to, that you've been wanting to go to forever, and they're coming here. Just get the tickets, just do it. Stop thinking as to like, where am I going to get the money, who am I going to go with, who's going to read this, if it's something that you want to write. All of those are the buts and the fears coming in through your ego that just make you stop. Today is a very, very interesting day because it's kind of windy outside, at least in the East Coast. And the wind is flowing, obviously, and it's showing us that new things are coming. New opportunities and new visions and new ideas are coming, and they're showing up in front of you today specifically. So take notice of what's showing up for you, what you're noticing, what ideas are popping up, what makes you excited, and then also take notice of how quickly your ego comes in to stop you and tell you no, it's not for you. You can't do it. You will fail. You're not ready. All of those things are the ego telling you no, 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 no. And then notice how your energy just deflates down into like this, like, oh, I can't. And all right, that was a nice thought. Next. And then you go on living your life in this wave of mediocrity and also conformity of this is what I have to do. My life is so busy with all of these things that I need to do and take care of, and I just need to do this, all of these things, and then by the time I'm done with all of this, it's already 10 o'clock and I need to go to sleep, and then the next day starts again, and there's no magic and there's no joy. So today, take action on whatever idea you get, on whatever comes your way that lifts you up, even for a second, even for that little millisecond that you're like, and then the ego comes in. Take action and do it. It's just as simple. Just take action, do it. Bring the joy back to your life. You're going to see, you're going to find, you're going to notice that taking the action is the hardest part, but the actual doing the thing isn't. That once you're in it, once you're creating, once you are walking, doing, writing, whatever it is that your idea was, it just flows. Allow yourself to flow with the energy, with the wind. Go outside. Allow your hair to flow in the wind. Allow your face to be filled with the wind. Allow your clothes to flow. Allow yourself to be in the flow of life, because the flow of life is really what it's all about. Is to receive, is to have joy, and is to give. Wow, what amazing, amazing message we are receiving today. Thank you, Archangel Gabriel. Thank you for your messages today. Um, tell me, what it is that you have been thinking about, that it keeps coming up. They're telling me also, my guys are telling me, if you're listening to this, that there has been an idea in the background that keeps popping up for you. And what does that mean is that no matter how many times it comes up and your ego squishes it down, it pops up again. You know what I'm talking about. You know exactly what I'm talking about. It's right there. It's right there on the tip of your tongue, right? Like you don't want to say it, but you know exactly what it is. That's a sign. That's a sign that you are actually meant to do that, meant to live that. The reason it's not going away, no matter how many times and how hard your ego's pushing it down with 1,000 excuses, is because you can do it. You have the capabilities of doing it. You are able to do it and, listen to this carefully, succeed. If you have that thought, that feeling inside, that idea or something that you want to do, and it keeps coming up, maybe every week, maybe every month, maybe every year, maybe once in a while, here and there, but it's the same one, and you recognize it as the same one, that idea is because you can. I want you to know you can. And just take action. Do the first step, whatever that first step is. Call that person, go for a walk, connect with someone. And if you really, really need help, then seek support. Seek support in the area that your idea lives. right? So if you want to write a book, seek support from someone who's publishing books. If you want to do your own business, seek support from a coach, right? Like if you want to do something with your spiritual life, seek support from a spiritual leader. So do the things that go with your idea. They're not saying that you need um, to go and get support right now. They're just saying take that first moment of action. And actually, hiring somebody to help you in whatever it is action, even if you're not doing anything else, because they can guide you and tell you what the next step is without your fear. And they're also asking you to write. Do some automatic writing. Automatic writing, I do this almost every day. I sit down with my laptop now. I used to do it on my notebook, and I would start writing by greeting the archangels because I'm an angels girl, so I'm always working with the angels. And I would start with "Good morning, Archangel Gabriel. Good morning, Archangel Michael. Good morning, Archangel Uriel. Good morning, Archangel Raphael." And then I would ask, what do I need to know today? And I'm telling you this because I would actually write every single one of those sentences and questions down. And then my hand would begin to just write and flow with the answers. Do this because it is the fastest, best way for you to begin your connection with your higher self, with your guides, with the angels, with whomever it is that you are working with, God, whomever it is. And you receive the answers, and then you can read the answers. They're written down on your paper, and you have concrete evidence that there is something else out there, that there is a higher energy, a higher um, intelligence that is supporting you. You are fully supported and fully loved. Oh, and if this is your first time doing automatic writing, if you've never tapped into automatic writing before, when you first start doing it, you may not get that many answers. You may get a lot of sentences like, I don't know what to do. I don't know what to write. This is silly. This is not working. I'm not getting anything. I love you. And this is like crazy. And then when you go back, you read them, and that one little sentence that said, I love you, or we love you, or you are loved, or you're on the right path, that is the channel message. All the other ones, I don't know what I'm doing, this is not working, what do I write? All of those things are things that come out from your ego. And it's okay to write them down and put them down, because as you are writing, the messages from your higher self, from the angels, from your guides, begin to seep through. And you will see them here and there on the page. Another thing to know about automatic writing, now I'm going to automatic writing. I did not know I was going to talk about this today, is that when you read or reread whatever you wrote on your paper, if there's anything that's making you feel shameful, bad, or as if you didn't do enough, anything, any sentence that says should have, could have, or any of that, those are all also ego. Everything and anything that comes from the divine is always loving and uplifting. The divine will never tell you you did something wrong or that you could have done it better. That's your ego. That's not a message from the divine. The divine messages are always telling you and pointing out all the good things that you have done, accomplished, and that you are on the right track. So that's a way of also, when you're reading back your written words, your sentences, and you come across those loving things that you're like, oh, that's nice, and it actually makes you feel good. Yeah, that's the divine message. The ones that are making you feel like, yeah, I could have done better, questioning yourself or even putting yourself down. A lot of us have that voice that puts ourselves down and gives us a lot of grief as to like, with the belief, right? Or I should say, lack of belief in ourselves. Those are all ego. So just know about that. But they're really asking me, they really want you to begin this practice if you haven't already. Just get a regular notebook, like a composition notebook from like the kids that they use at school, like they're $1, and just write with a pen. And the way that you do after you greet your guys, after you write it down, and you might be asking, why do I need to write all those sentences? That's a lot of writing for nothing, and I hate writing. And again, that's your ego telling you. The reason that you greet everybody that you think of when you first start writing, it could be half a page of just saying hello to people, or to energies, is because it gets your mind and your body connected and in the flow of writing. So by the time that you ask the question, what do I need to know today? The answer will already flow because you will be a lot more connected after greeting everyone on paper, writing it down, than if you just start with a question. Does that make sense? It gets all of that gunk and thinking out, and then your hand begins to write. And you write, write, write until your hand stops, until you don't know what else to do. If you stop and you're like, okay, I stop, what else now? And you have to kind of like think what else to write, then that's no longer being guided by the divine. That would be, again, your head and your ego. At that point, when your hand stops, then you want to ask another question. That's when you ask another question. If you want to ask another question, you don't have to. I recommend doing this exercise for about a week or 2 weeks, where you ask the same question every day. I always start, and I've been doing this for over a year now, with what do I need to know today? That is my first question every day, every time I do it. And then after that, after I get that out of the way, then I ask other questions. Sometimes I don't, because sometimes just by saying, what do I need to know today? I get so many answers that are so deep and so, um, what's the word? Exactly what I needed to hear on that day, that I don't need to ask another question. I don't really have another question. So just do it. It doesn't take that long, actually. I usually write about 5-10 minutes tops. Very seldom I write longer. However, if you are really, really channeling, you might find yourself writing for about half hour, or maybe even an hour. It just depends on you and your connection, and how much your guides want to say to you, and how much you are able to receive at that point. Some people start doing this and they connect immediately, and they have really in-depth answers to their questions. So I highly recommend you try the Archangel Gabriel is telling us that this is something that is open for exploration right now, and really giving you that push to try it if you haven't already, and if you have, to continue doing it and using it, because it is the greatest tool of you connecting your mind, body, and soul, and having that concrete answer and evidence that you are not imagining things. Anything that you want to ask, you can ask. There, it's just you and your guide. No one else is going to see it unless you want to share it, right? So it's your thing. It's kind of like writing in a diary, except you're connecting with your guides, higher selves, and the divine. All right. I hope that you guys put this into practice. I think it's going to be a really useful tool. Um, Ask me any questions if you have any questions about how to do it or what else to do about it. But put it into practice, because it feels like it will be really helpful for you, if you and when you decide to use this tool. All right, guys. If I don't speak to you again until Monday, have a great weekend. I love you so much. Please like, subscribe, and share this podcast so that other people can also find these messages. I love you, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye bye.